Welcome everybody to today where we celebrate the Tuesday of the 20th week of Ordinary Time. Today, reflecting upon the Holy Gospel, notice that Jesus talks to each and every one of us here about entering into the kingdom of heaven. To which, what does he state in today's Holy Gospel? That being able to enter into the kingdom of heaven is considerably difficult, considering all of our circumstances to which we have in our life. So today, Jesus wants to bring to each and every one of us here about the importance of being able to offer ourselves up before the Lord. Because we go to continue to recognize that all of us here have a purpose to which we continue to have throughout this life. And Jesus wants each and every one of us here to recognize that there will be numerous amount of times where we feel a different set of emotions. Some of us may feel very gladdened, excited, to the point where our courage has risen up. While there are other times where each and every one of us may feel disturbed, stressed, saddened. All of these events are going to continue to take place in our life. And today, Jesus wants to invite each and every one of us here to really consider the importance of how would God be able to deal with these certain set of situations, so that way all of us can strive to continue to understand the love to which God has placed forth before all of us here. So how do we continue to do that? We have to continue to really first pray. Make time to pray. When we make time to pray, each and every one of us here will be given this opportunity to listen to the voice of the Lord, as He's going to silently continue to speak to each and every one of us here. And the Lord will help guide each and every one of us here to the point where all of us will be able to continue to move forward in this life, especially at times where we may feel like we are not there. The Lord wants us to place our hearts into Him. And it is easier for the eye to pass the through other people versus our own wouldn't be in our own eyes. So sometimes we can easily see the fault of other people rather than seeing the fault of ourselves. So each and every one of us here are called to document our own behavior and see what impact do we continue to place amongst other people, and what can we do to continue to improve our relationship, so that way each and every one of us can build up this character of becoming a good human being. That is something that Jesus wants to teach each and every one of us here throughout the course of our own life, so that way all of us can strive to continue to really further recognize how God continues to work through each and every one of us here, especially as we continue to journey throughout our faith. So, if we really consider the Holy Gospel for today, notice how Jesus continues to speak to each and every one of us here. How Jesus wants all of us here to be transformed. For it is stated that if we want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, we must first place God as a priority over our own selves. We have to be able to give up our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, and sisters in order to make room for God to come into our hearts. Now, even though Jesus had stated that, notice he does not literally mean be very, very angry, be offending towards other people. That's not what Jesus is saying. Jesus wants to tell each and every one of us here that we have to place God as a priority first before we continue to place other things as a priority, because God created each and every one of us to the point where he made all of us to become good. And then we continue to prioritize other people before ourselves. So here, notice how when we hear the word joy, it is it is written purposefully to the point where it gives each and every one of us here an indication as to who we prioritize first. So starting with J in the word joy, we got Jesus, to which we should really continue to prioritize Jesus in our own lives. Following that, we got the O, which is other people. Then we continue to prioritize ourselves. When we continue to do that, then we will go to recognize God's loving presence. Thank you to each and every one of you guys for taking the time to listen to this reflection. And for more videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting down below any questions that you may have about the faith. Thank you.